Louisa, and this is the first video in a three-part series on creating your writer platform. So this video series is for you if you are working on building any of those digital assets that comprise your writer platform. So your website, your social media, your blog if you have one, or perhaps you've started an email list. And this is for you if you are a non-fiction writer, so memoir, self-help, any kind of non-fiction, and you are trying to get a traditional publishing book deal. Because you may or may not know how important your writer platform is to speeding up the process to getting you a book deal. So I'm Louisa Deasy, and I am an author, twice published memoir author, traditionally published as well. And I also have worked in digital marketing and media for many years, digital communications, copywriting, messaging and positioning. So I've worked with a lot of online business owners as well as media organizations on their digital strategy. I love digital strategy, and I love combining it with traditional publishing, because a lot of authors that I meet don't know, writers who want to be authors don't actually know how important all this stuff is to speeding up the process to getting them a book deal and selling more of their work. So whether that be an essay or an article or a complete book manuscript, your writer platform, particularly these digital assets, make up a huge part of that. So in this video series, I'm going to talk about the 3 questions you must ask yourself before you create any content for any of these pieces of your writer platform. So 3 questions that are going to help you to really get your writer platform growing and just get it really reaching those people that you want it to reach, and building your expertise and your position as the best person to write this book and get a book deal, or to the best person to sell more articles or essays or copywriting or whatever it is that you, whatever non-fiction writing that you do and that you want to sell. Okay, so that's enough about me. First of all, I want to share a metaphor with you. So if you think about your digital assets, so your website, particularly your writer homepage, I say that this is like your digital shopfront for your work, okay? And by that I mean, let's say a new shop is opening in my suburb, and it's going to be, so there's going to be a grand opening, and they're having events and special deals, blah, blah, blah. And I find out that the shop is for fishing tackle. Now, I don't fish. I don't really know what tackle is or would be used for. I have no interest in any of that. So if I'm walking past, maybe I'll take a snack if they're giving away free snacks, but I'm not going to go into that shop, and I'm not going to buy the tackle, and I'm not going to engage with them, and I'm probably not going to talk to my friends and family. No matter how great their fishing tackle is, I'm not going to go there because I don't fish and I don't buy fishing tackle. I am not their audience. I'm not their market. I am not their client. Whereas if a Red Shoe store opened up in my suburb and they had a grand opening, and even if they didn't have a grand opening, I would be more likely to go in, be curious, ask them, have a look, and even if I didn't buy anything, to share with my friends and family that there's a new Red Shoe store in my suburb. And that's because I am the client or the audience for that particular product or service. Okay, so how this relates to your writer's platform, particularly if you're a memoir writer or any kind of non-fiction writer, is you have to think of yourself as selling something. And this is a huge mindset block, I think, for a lot of memoir writers. They think, well, I've written this manuscript, and they're in the headspace of writing about their own experiences in their life. And so they don't think of themselves as a salesperson. They don't know the mechanics of the business side of writing. So the whole idea of writer platform is quite new and tough. So this is where you see memoir writers who think that they have a platform, and I've worked with clients like this, and it's hard because they think, well, I've got a website, I've got social media, and I share about my writing and my work in there, but it's not working, and it's not an effective writer platform. And the reason is because they haven't asked themselves these 3 questions. And these 3 questions are really the part of any digital strategy that I would put together for someone. So when I worked in digital strategy, and I still work in digital strategy for online business owners, but what you really want to do is get the communications to actually reach, you want people's digital communications to have a certain effect, to grow your audience, or to make a sale, or to lead users and website visitors to take a certain action, okay? It's the same with writers who are trying to sell either a memoir or any other kind of nonfiction. But the problem is, you're not trained in digital strategy, and that's totally normal. And so this is all totally new to you. So you set up a website and you write things about what you love to do, and you share a little bit of your work, and you, maybe have a photo of you on there, and maybe some blog posts about things that you like to write about. But it's actually not effectively reaching your audience, it's not growing your platform, and it's not going to get you any closer to getting a book deal or selling any more of your essays or articles about your expertise and your passion and your creative work. So, the first question that you need to ask yourself before you go to the effort of writing any content, of setting up a website, of buying a domain, of asking people to subscribe to your newsletter list, any web content for your writer platform, the first question that you need to ask yourself is, who is this for? Who am I writing for? So whether that's a blog post or an Instagram post, who is it for? Who is your audience? What do they do? What do they like? What do they want? Because your website is not about you, okay? People are plugged into WIFM. What's in it for me? People will not stay on your website or not read your blog post if they can't do the thing which I just gave you the metaphor for with the shops. If they can't recognize themselves as your customer, you've lost them. So if I see that a shop is selling fishing tackle, I'm not going to go in there, I'm not going to walk past, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not even going to probably even register that shop exists, because I'm not their ideal customer. And what you want to do is you want your ideal customer or your client or your reader, the people that you're writing for, to recognize themselves immediately as soon as they land on your content. So you want them to go, oh, she's solving a problem for me, or she's talking about something that I'm obsessed with, or she's, this is me. It's all about your audience. And this is why the very first module in the Book Deal Accelerator program, which I run, is all about identifying, finding, connecting with, getting to know, and absolutely just being so clear on your ideal audience. Because anytime you write anything, you need to be thinking, who is this for? You're not just writing for yourself. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. It could be like some authors that I know have these websites, and they're doing guest blog posts for people, and they're sharing on 3 different social media platforms every day, and I'm like, I don't even know who this is for, because you're sharing so much different stuff. You're talking to about 15 different readers here. One of the best pieces of advice that I've ever been given when I had to write a speech was speak to one person. So if you can think, who am I writing this for? And narrow that down into one person and one problem and one, all of that stuff that goes into digging deep into the work of finding your ideal audience, that is going to help you to build your writer platform so much more than if you just keep creating content, wasting your time, asking your friends and family, begging your friends and family to subscribe to your newsletter or to look at your website and wondering why, you only have 20 people who've actually viewed your website. So the number one question that you need to ask yourself is, who is this for? Think of your audience as a customer, okay? And think about, really need to dig deep into that. The next 2 questions build on this, but this has got to be the first piece, because when I was freelance writing, if I could always had to come at every article with who am I writing for? What problem am I solving here? What do they need to know? What do they do? I knew them to a T. And so this was so important with any story pitch that I sent. I had to make it super clear that I knew who the audience was for that publication, because otherwise I wouldn't get any stories commissioned. To give you another random example, when I was editing a design magazine, if I was choosing between 2 or 3 different writers to commission to write a piece, I would be so much more likely to commission the writer whose website or first post on social media that I landed on was something about design and architecture. Whereas, I could get a cold pitch from a writer who specialized in car writing, for example. I would not commission them to write a story. So by digging deep and going, who am I writing for, and really getting to know your audience and how to reach them, what they do, all of the stuff that goes into knowing your audience, all of the stuff I teach in the absolute first module of the Book Deal Accelerator is who is this for? And you've got to speak to one person. So I hope this has helped you. The next video is going to be the second question you need to ask, but you need to have this first piece really, really clear before you create any content to build your writer platform. So let me know if this has helped you. Think about your writer platform as your digital shopfront, or think about your website as your digital shopfront, I should say, and you really want it to speak to that ideal reader, customer, audience member. So who are you writing for? Okay, I'll see you in the next video.